Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and in this video I'm going to show you how to distress wood using paint, an electrical sander, and wood stain. And I'm going to demonstrate on a couple crates that I found thrown away in perfect condition. And I already had the paint, the sander, and the wood stain, and so this project is going to cost me $0. And in the first step we're going to paint the crate, and I suggest using a paint with a sheen that is less glossy, like matte, eggshell, or satin, because those sheens are a little bit less resilient and they'll be easier to sand down. You can use semi-gloss if you want to, it won't hurt anything, it'll just be a little bit tougher sanding job. So I'm just going to give this one very thin coat of paint. So of course you're going to want to let that paint completely dry before sanding it down. And I'm going to demonstrate on this crate that I painted green earlier. And before you get started sanding, you want to cover up anything you care about because it's going to go everywhere. And you want to wear a dust mask or a respirator. And these are really cheap. They're only about 15 bucks, really worth the money if you do a lot of DIY. Then you're going to sand this down very lightly and expose only some of the wood, leave most of the color. But you do want some wood poking out underneath because that is what the wood stain is going to adhere to later and really give it a worn look. Before you apply the stain, just wipe down all the excess dust on it so it doesn't get clumped up in the wood stain. And for the wood stain, I'm going to use a really dark shade of wood stain. It's called dark walnut because the wood stain isn't going to absorb into the entire surface of the crate. It's just going to absorb into the exposed parts of wood. It's not going to absorb into the parts that are covered by paint. And so it's really important to have a dark color so it really looks weathered, so it really sticks out. And be sure to just give it one very thin coat of wood stain, but you want it to be a solid coat because if you have any exposed bare wood or painted wood, at the end it's going to be a lot brighter than the rest of it. It's going to look a little weird. So make sure that your thin coat does go on solid and covers the entire surface. Now I'm going to wipe this stain down as I go along because you don't want it to completely dry on the surface because if it dries on top of the paint, you can't wipe it off later. So before you're done completely staining the whole thing, just dry as you go or wipe it off as you go. And I'm actually going to use these dress shirt rags that I have because my boyfriend accidentally washed all of his nice dress shirts with an ink pen. And it turned out good for me because now I have a bunch of rags. And the thing is, really nice cotton, really finely woven cotton is very good for wiping wood down after staining because the weave is so tight that the cotton won't snag on any splinters or any shards of wood that are sticking up or nails or whatever you have in your wood. So if you accidentally ruin some of your really nice clothing, remember to keep it as rags because what else are you going to do with it? And also, while you're wood staining, it's not a bad idea to wear your respirator for this as well because of the fumes. I've been wearing it because I've been giving explanations as I go, and also I'm a little bit lazy about it. But I'll put it on now for a good example. If you do have one of these and you are working indoors or even outdoors, you're going to want to wear this while you wood stain as well because the fumes are overbearing. Now that the wood stain has dried, I'm going to give this a coat of finish. I'm going to actually apply shellac, which is going to give it a shiny coat. It's also going to protect the wood stain and the paint from any dings or scuffs. And I've got another quick tip for you. If you have any makeup brushes lying around, they're really great for finishes with like a liquid consistency like polyurethane or shellac. Makeup brushes really have like thin, soft bristles that are great for applying a smooth and abundant coat of liquidy type finishes like shellac and polyurethane. So ladies, if you have any of these lying around, or guys, ask your ladies if they have any lying around, because chances are they have a million of them and they're not using them. So you can put them to good use with finishes. The reason why I'm applying a finish is because wood stain is supposed to absorb all the way into the wood. It's not supposed to dry on the surface of paint or even on the surface of wood that it hasn't fully absorbed into. So when it does dry on a surface without absorbing into it, it becomes kind of sticky. Even though it's completely dry, it still kind of has a sticky surface. And what this finish is going to do, this shellac, is it's going to cover that stickiness and give this crate a smooth to the touch surface. Now shellac dries really quickly, so once you finish applying the shellac, you want to clean your brush as quickly as possible because otherwise it'll harden and become useless. And one cheap way to clean shellac off of brushes is to use nail polish remover. You don't want to use water at first. Put a little bit of nail polish remover in a cup and then swish the brush around in the cup for a few minutes until you notice that the nail polish remover becomes kind of cloudy and yellow colored like the shellac. And what this actually does is it actually makes the liquid in the cup really, really cold, and I don't know why, some kind of chemical reaction. So if you know the answer, leave a comment below, let me know what's going on here, why when you mix shellac with nail polish remover it gets really, really cold. So after a few minutes of swishing the brush around in the nail polish remover, you can then rinse it with water and your brush will be like new. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe below. You can also visit my Etsy store at RoughDraftDIY.etsy.com or follow my daily projects on Instagram at RoughDraftDIY. Thanks again for watching, and I'll have another video out next month.